King County Sports Weekly, AM 620 WTRP Sports, LaGrange, Georgia. And as we are every Monday, coming to you live from Country's Barbecue in downtown LaGrange. While barbecue or the chicken finger platter is divine, you cannot complete the Country's experience without a dessert. You can get banana pudding, vanilla ice cream with meringue pie, and of course, one of my favorites and something I actually took part in last week, the chocolate chess pie. You can enjoy everything Country's has to offer at 124 Vernon Street in downtown LaGrange. And joining us now is the head coach of the Callaway Cavaliers, and we were talking about this during the break. Way to put a heart attack into a lot of the fans here Friday night. And, of course, very impressive, very fun overtime win over the LaGrange Grangers. First, we'll just like to welcome you in and just ask how everything's going with you today.
Well, we had a good practice today. We had a young man have an injury today, Javosky Leverett. Thoughts and prayers with him. Had a lower leg injury anyway, but back to the game and just how this weekend and Friday night went. I was really proud of our kids for handling adversity throughout the game. We had 7 turnovers, and to be able to keep fighting and keep competing throughout the game, and then find a way to win in the fourth quarter says a whole lot about the character of our kids. And just really proud of that group of seniors and their leadership, and again, the determination to keep fighting and find a way to win.
And we'll talk first about the just how great of a defensive performance it was throughout the first 3 quarters until about a minute or so remaining in the third quarter when the first score of the ball game finally took place. Just how impressed are you with the way the defense have played Friday night? And are there a couple of key players that you think stood out in the game?
There's several key players. Number one, Eddie Culpepper. He's our tailback. He played will linebacker most of the game because our starting will, Javosky, has been out with an injury, and so Eddie didn't come off the field very much, and it was very hot. A very physical game, and just his effort throughout the night was incredible. LeBron Zalea is our Sam linebacker, had a phenomenal game, a lot of tackles. I was really proud of him. Devin Powell, who's my left guard on offense, also played on the defensive line, had a big game. Aaron Clausell, our free safety, he had 13 tackles, and I'm really proud of him. But, it was a group effort. Coach Hubbard and the defensive staff did a phenomenal job preparing. And, again, their back was against the wall many times as we turned the ball over deep in our own territory. And it's tough when you keep putting your defense back out on the field. But, time and time again they stood tall, and I was just really proud of their heart and determination and effort they played with.
And the one thing that's really impressed me about your football program going into the third year of me actually, really getting to cover you guys and, watch you guys grow is the way that you guys respond to adversity. And LaGrange took a 14-0 lead in the fourth quarter, but it seemed like as soon as that 14-0 score happened, you guys were just nonstop getting after it, having no problem going down the field, causing turnovers, recovering turnovers. So what was it that you told your players? Well, I guess we'll talk about what happened going into the locker room when it was tied 0-0, and then what happened in the fourth quarter to try to get you guys pumped up. So just what was the halftime locker room talk during halftime in the fourth quarter when you guys were down 14-0? What did you and your coaches say that get your guys fired up?
At halftime, obviously, we talked about the mental mistakes as far as turnovers and penalties. We had 4 turnovers in the first half, and again, it's hard to establish momentum. It's hard to get anything going with turnovers and penalties like we had. And we kept putting our defense back out on the field, and it was tough on the kids. But obviously at halftime we said, look, we got to cut down on those mental mistakes as far as the turnovers and penalties. And we felt like we could move the ball, and we had moved the ball. It's just we turned the ball over too regular, or too often. But so we just talked about just playing Callaway football and in the second half, and let's get a little tempo going. Let's get some momentum and see what happens. And it was on into the fourth quarter before we really got to clicking like we felt like we normally do, and but it was a hot game. It was physical, and both teams had a lot of emotion and big atmosphere, all that stuff. It was a rival game, and a lot goes into a football game, but as the game wore on, our back was against the wall, and but our kids, the character of our kids, and the work ethic and that they have is there was more determination to succeed as the game got closer to being over, and obviously. We always say big-time players make big-time plays in tough situations, and I felt like some of our guys did, and all of our guys just had the mentality of we're going to win the ball game, and so we were able to do that, and but it doesn't just happen. I mean, we work all year long, and we practice hard each day, and you try to put your kids in tough situations in practice that will help prepare them for those type of situations, and we were able to do that, and to see it pay off, and see your kids rise up in hard times is very special.
And you guys played Greenville to start your fall season with a scrimmage, but now that you guys have a full game in with LaGrange, speaking about some of the newer talent that's coming in, you had Tez Parks, who signed with Southern Miss. You had Keyshawn Freeman, who was at the game Friday night playing for Georgia Tech, and also all of the Kennesaw State Cavaliers, if you will, with Petey, Brandon, and Devon, among others, that either graduated or they graduated and went on to play college ball. So you bring in the new guys, including Dre Martin. He really impressed me, especially in the fourth quarter. So just looking at the new guys that are finally getting a chance to start, what did you think of their play?
Well, Dre Martin, it was his first start at quarterback, and obviously there were some tough times early, but a lot of that, people from the stands or people on the outside may not understand the whole story, as far as there could be a bad snap, or there may be a breakdown in the blocking, or there may be whatever reason, and sometimes it looks like the quarterback, but it may not be his fault. But obviously he has some growing pains early, but as the game went on, we felt like he kind of grew up in front of our eyes right there. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on the kid in his first start in that kind of situation to be down 14 points and have to lead his football team back, and he did that. He made some throws that very special throws under pressure, and but again, it's stuff that we've done at practice a lot. It's the throws that he's made in 7-on-7s, and he's worked hard to be able to perform like that under tough situations. So really proud of him.
And we'll speak more about the just the atmosphere Friday night. And just like I mentioned with Coach Kendall, it's my third year here in Troup County covering you guys, and it just blew me away at how much the people here at Troup County not only love the football team, but love every athletic, every sponsored sport that goes on here. So there were probably, if I had to guess, 11,000, 12,000 people here. They were loud all night long. So what does that atmosphere mean to you as a football coach?
Well, it tells you a whole lot about the community and the support that it has for its kids and schools and athletic programs, and it's a cool thing to see a community come out and support the kids and the school at the football game, and obviously there's a football game going on, but I'm really appreciative of our cheerleaders and our band and all of our student body. We had a big crowd there, and it's just great for our community. This is starting my 10th year as the head coach at Callaway, and just to see the growth of our support and community's just been phenomenal, and it's just to stand there on the sideline and look up at all the red and black shirts is very special.
And we'll now move on to the game this week against Best Academy, playing in a very spectacular venue right in the middle of downtown Atlanta at Piedmont Park at Grady Stadium against Best Academy, and they're moving into their third year in the GHSA, and they've grown quite a bit in just 2 years too. So what can you say about the Best Academy team and What are you guys doing to prepare?
Well, Coach Moore does a great job with his kids, and it is a new school. But they played us really well last year, and I think we won by 10 points. I think the score was 28-18. But they took Carver Columbus to 3 overtimes in the playoffs. Very good football team. A lot of kids back. The quarterback, Sean Waller's a top recruit in Georgia. Very special. So it'll be a tough atmosphere. Grady Stadium, they've done a lot of renovations on that stadium. It is really nice, and obviously it's in a neat place. The skyline of Atlanta, just over one side of the stadium, and be a big atmosphere. So, coming off an emotional game like we did Friday night, we have to be ready to play because it's going to be a tough ball game, and we just have to work hard just like we do every day and get ready for Friday night.
And I brought this up with Coach Kendall too, and I don't think I touched on this last week, but I kind of want to ask this question too, since it is a new region year. A lot of teams are moving from one region to another. There are more teams coming in, and the non-region schedule just goes away too, and you have to start from scratch. So playing LaGrange, of course, that was very important for both the schools and the community. That was fun. Road game at Best Academy, home against Heard County, another road game at Harris County, and then another given game that's big for the community is Troup. So just looking at Best Academy and Harris County, especially due to the rivalry you guys with Heard County, that's more of a given as well. So just when you schedule non-conference opponents, what do you look for?
Well, obviously, when we scheduled, Troup, LaGrange, Harris County, Heard County, well, that's teams that there's great rivalries there. There's teams that are not, as far as distance, we're not far apart. So those are all factors. So there's opportunity, to do well with the gate. It's also great competition. I mean, Troup County, LaGrange, Harris County, Heard County, all those teams are great football teams. They're all well coached, and in a non-region schedule, as is Best now. Best has got a great football team.
Yes,
that's in Atlanta, but Coach Moore's a friend of mine, and we play 5 tough football teams, and we feel like that. Obviously that'll help prepare us for the region, and certainly as we get on into the playoffs, that we'll be prepared for whoever we might see once we get there from playing that quality of football teams, because those five non-region games are extremely tough. They're all emotional games. And, you have to get up every week, and if you don't, you could slip. So, but, the biggest thing we try to teach is, hey, we're going to go one day at a time. We're going to play one game at a time. So, I don't really like to get ahead and talk about other football teams until we get there. But right now it's Best, and that's just kind of how we stick our course. But, I know that looking at the schedule, it's a tough schedule, and but it's a schedule that, that'll make us better, and hopefully, we'll have good outcomes on it.
And before we let you go, big road game in Atlanta, as we mentioned before, beautiful stadium, a lot to look at there. Is there, just a couple of things you want to mention to the students, the faculty, just the Callaway fans to get them pumped up for Friday?
Well, biggest thing is I'd just like to say thank you to all of our Callaway community. I mean, this past Friday night was a very special game for our school and our community, and it was a big win for us. It was a tough atmosphere, and against a crosstown rival, and for our kids to face adversity and overcome it and win the game is just, it tells a whole lot about the kids. It tells the kids how much they want to win and how much they'll to fight to win. So I told the kids today that that being able to do that, there's a lot of things we can work at as far as turnovers and penalties, and maybe blocking a little better and tackling a little better. But when you got the kids that want to win and will lay it all out there, that's pretty special. And so it's a good group of kids to be a part of, and I'm just looking forward to the rest of the season, and but one game at a time.
Friday night, Grady Stadium in Atlanta, Callaway traveling to Best Academy. Go out there and support Callaway this Friday night if you can. And, of course, Coach Wiggins, it's always a pleasure to have you on the air and talking with us, and we want to wish you the best of luck in Atlanta Friday night. We're going to take one last break, and when we come back, news around the GHSA live on Troup County Sports Weekly, AM 620 WTRP Sports.